Hey, we just did a podcast on the statute of limitations that the IRS has to collect on tax debts from people living overseas.
In technical terms, that's known as the Collection Statute Expiration Date, otherwise known as a CSED.
Here's an excerpt. Enjoy.
Now the biggest issue when leaving the country, U.S. citizen, living in another country, is the CSED, you brought this up, it's told. It stops running while you're away.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were curious, because we haven't run into too many cases where a taxpayer left the country and the IRS actually coded the case correctly so that the statute would be told. Well, we recently had someone, we have a new client with all the passport stuff coming in to say, yeah, I kind of had a tax bill from years ago, and so we looked into it, and sure enough, it's still out there, and it's a very, very old tax bill. So that the IRS, I don't know if they're coding all the cases and if they actually know you're there, but if there certainly can be, they can have ways of finding out. And by the way, let's assume that, now when we said before, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I should say agree with you on this, but you said, hey, once that's it, the IRS can't collect. Well, there's a little twist.
It's a depends.
It's a depends. I should have always answered, it depends.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that you're overseas and the IRS mistakenly coded your case and didn't say put you as overseas. And so they actually had your statute of limitations running and say, yep, this debt went away by not being able to collect on it. The IRS can go back in time and say, yeah, we're going to recode that case. It's still alive.
Oh.
They can revive the thing that's dead. And yeah, there's dead and almost dead. So that's
I'm not dead yet.
Yes. So that is they can come back and do that. It's a real nasty surprise. You think, oh yeah, I waited them out. Yay.
Not necessarily, because they are working with Customs and Homeland Security to get information to know who's overseas. And so potentially you're saying now the assessment lasts forever if you're overseas, or until you come back. If you come back, does it start at 10 years?
Yeah, then
start to zero.
It starts wherever it left off.
Okay.
And I don't know if they tack on additional time for the re-establishment. One of the reasons why they add on that time is because they're saying, well, look, if we can't collect on you, then the statute doesn't run. So it takes their system's time to figure out, oh, you're back, we can start collecting. But they can't start collecting because there's certain notices they have to send, refresher notices along the way.
Oh,
so just because you came back that day, because, I guess somebody could be pretty smart. They could come back, and sort of chip away at the statute that way.
Oh, wow.
But because it takes the IRS about, 8 months to kind of figure out where I am, send me all the right notices before they could levy. So I'll just be here, for 8 months, say, you got to give me credit for that. Like, no. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
They figured that out.
IRSMedic, the law offices of Parent, and Win, LLP. Real tax attorneys for tough tax problems.